Jeez. Okay. So I want you to tell me a little bit about how it's going this year with your reading. How do you think you're doing with reading?
I think getting C's.
Keep getting C's? Okay, what do you think you're getting C's on? What part?
Comprehension.
Comprehension thinking. Okay, what part of the comprehension?
All of it.
All of it? Okay. Do you remember when I used to say to you, do you remember the beginning, middle, and end?
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that that's still a struggle for you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I have here a little code that might help you become more successful with that. You want to see what it is?
Yeah.
This is called story structure, and I know that your teacher goes over that a lot with you. You've heard those words before, right? Story structure?
I don't think so.
No? You haven't heard that? You've heard beginning, middle, and end, right? Okay. So look at this. This shows beginning, middle, and end. And this shows what happens in the beginning. Why don't you read that?
This.
Mhm.
Characters are introduced. Setting is introduced. Conflict or problem sometimes introduced.
Okay, so that's what happens in the beginning. So I want you to remember that in your head. This is what happens in the beginning, and I'm going to give you a copy of this so that you can practice this. Okay? What happens in the middle?
Events happen. Usually the conflict or problem is trying to be solved.
Okay, so think about that. Do you know what events are? No. The events are the things that happen. Okay, remember when we were reading Mercy Watson?
Yeah.
Okay, she got into a lot of trouble, right?
Mhm.
A lot of things happened to her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And also, and the middle is the biggest part.
correct. Yes. So you have to remember that when you're reading also. And I want you to focus on that, the conflict or the problem, and how the character responds to that. Okay? How did they fix the problem? Okay? What did they do because of the problem? Okay? Look at the ending. Read the ending.
Solution is from the problem. Character usually changes from the beginning.
Okay. Now there's that word usually. That doesn't mean all the time, right?
Right.
Okay. So when you have your solution, that means that the problem is solved, okay? And usually the characters change from the beginning of the story. Now, finding all these things is hard in a story. What's the secret for you to go back if you're not sure about missing information? Reread. Is there a limit about how much you can reread? Meaning, can you go back as many times as you want to reread?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're taking one of your tests at school, your portfolio tests, can you go back as many times as you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back as many times as you want and reread. Okay? I want you to keep these 3 points in mind. Okay?
Okay.
In the beginning, characters are introduced, and the setting is introduced. Sometimes the problem is introduced. Okay? And then in the middle, this is where your events happen, and the conflict or problem is trying to be solved. Okay? This is the what part of the story?
The biggest.
The biggest part, whether you're writing or retelling. Okay? Alright, and then the ending is the solution. That's where the whole story ends. Okay?